Hello. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. So, just want to acknowledge, first of all, where I'm situated. I am situated in Eora Nation, which is otherwise known as Sydney, Australia. I just want to acknowledge the land that I'm on. It's unceded land, and give my respect to the elders, past, present, and future. And with that acknowledgement, just waving to you all, hi. Wanted to get into feelings and sensations of imposter syndrome and self-doubt as you curate this brilliant life of service and purpose and soul-aligned expression, self-expression, all of the tendrils that maybe you are not in the right place, or maybe this isn't for you, or maybe you're not worthy of showing up for your students, or you're not worthy of putting yourself out there, or are your gifts really needed, or are they unique, are they special? All of those thoughts that have you questioning yourself. I just wanted to open up space to get into it, and how I specifically support my students and how I've supported myself to move through that really powerfully. Because guess what? Your gifts are needed here. Your unique self-expression and truth is needed here. It's medicine. It's absolutely necessary, not only for the collective, but also for you, for your sense of fulfillment, and for that deeper sense of purpose, which is the ultimate goal. Hey Rose, hey Benny, just waving. Hey Jay. So before I get into it, I just wanted to say that I hosted a pop-up clinic a couple of days ago, and in that pop-up clinic, which was exceptional because we got to really dive into all the different ways in which Ayurveda supports you and your health and your inner sense of ease and clarity. Not just nutritional, but also the energetics, the mental aspects, the emotional aspects, which a lot of you all don't actually realize that Ayurveda really gets into. So that pop-up clinic, the recording is up until March 31st only, and then it's only available to my students. So if you want the replay, if you want access to the replay, just DM me directly. We also get into self-doubt there, and I actually get into some pieces about integration of energetics, which I'm not really going to get into here. So it'll be powerful. If you want the replay, just DM me, and it's available to you for the next 3 or 4 days. So what about today? Let's just think on, first of all, why is it actually important to move through that feeling of self-doubt when it arises and when it comes? Because I know a lot of us actually just let it take over our actions and our energy. We allow for ourselves to just sit in that sensation of unworthiness or doubt or fear. So why is it actually important to move through it? And maybe it's obvious to some of you, but it might not be obvious to some others. So I want to name it. It is important because that energetic state, it affects your actions, your tangible actions, what you do, how you show up, how you take care of yourself. And it also affects your energetic field, right? On a subtle level. What are you open to? What are you allowing yourselves to receive? What kinds of opportunities are coming your way? Hello, Ama. Hello, Mar. And Turtle Runner. But yeah, what are you allowing yourselves to actually receive? So if you are seated in self-doubt and really indulging that feeling and really taking it on as your own, or imposter syndrome, and I'm going to kind of use them interchangeably, what you're inevitably doing is perpetuating actions that reaffirm that doubt. And You are creating an energetic field that is closed, restricted, tight. And guess what cannot happen in that type of energetic field? You cannot receive the blessings. You cannot receive the opportunities. You cannot receive the sense of health and ease that is yours, that you desire to live out in this life. This is your life. So I hope you already have a vision, first of all, and a clear intention of what is possible for you. And then we work through those little hiccups, which, by the way, they don't ever stop coming. Every single level of your growth, of your evolution, of your career, you are going to feel and experience self-doubt. Don't think that I don't. Don't think that I was born. I was born in confidence and I just ride the wave of confidence, and I don't ever experience, wait, is that next level? Is that for me? Can I do that? Can I be that person? Can I be that version of myself? Of course, that is inevitable. That's why you need the tangible tools to move through it each and every time, and then kind of feel the peace and clarity when it does come, to be like, I got this. Like, I know this is normal. This is totally normal. I get to hold myself with love as this comes up. I'm not going to indulge this feeling. I'm not going to get lost in it, but I'm going to actually move through it. That's exactly what's needed, so that one, my tangible actions can reflect that newer, more expansive version of me that's trusting myself. And also my energetic field can call in the types of opportunities that I'm seeking for myself. Hey. And three main pieces when it comes to what gets blocked when we sit in that sensation of self-doubt or imposter syndrome. Three core requirements for us to live fulfilled lives, are the three core needs and desires. The first is financial peace, abundance, prosperity, a feeling of safety, security, knowing that we get to do the work that feels aligned for us, but is also enabling us opportunities and security and freedom that we get to pass down to future generations, to our children, to anyone. We get to be generous in our prosperity, in our wealth, and our abundance. That's necessary. You cannot pretend that doesn't exist, and you know that that's a core yearning and desire of yours. That's linked directly to your sense of self and your sense of knowing that this next step, next version of you is worthy of you. The second is pleasure. You want to feel easeful and joyful doing what is yours to do here. You don't want to feel constantly tight and restricted and constricted and second guessing. Like, the amount of tension that you create in your own life by sitting in that sense of doubt and constant second guessing is exhausting. And unfortunately, you don't actually enjoy the fruit of your work. You don't actually get to bite into it and enjoy the juice of it because you're so in your mind. And the third most important piece, without which the other two crumble, is stepping into work that really fulfills your soul and that speaks to your unique gifts, whatever it is, right? It doesn't need to, it's yours. Whatever you know that is, whatever that desire that you felt come again and again, or when you see someone else's life and you feel jealousy, something about that you want, that is for you, that speaks to you. Allowing yourself to step into that is how you create the most fulfilling, abundant, purposeful, and service-filled life. And if you're allowing yourself to get stuck in self-doubt, this is what I say, is it makes you selfish. It's you constricting, closing up, tightening up, not allowing the world to really experience you in your truth, in your brilliance, with your gifts. So these are all of the implications, multiple, and there are more even, but really the energetic, financial, purposeful, and pleasureful pieces, which is everything, right? Which is huge, which is big. Hello. So, and this is the funny thing, is that the women that come to me with experiences of self-doubt, a part of it is because they truly, deeply care. They want to live so deeply in integrity. They want to know that when they're sharing and when they're guiding and when they're coaching and when they're healing, it's truly coming from a place of deep truth. This is a base value and ethics that I'm assuming in you as I speak to you right now, because these are only the students that I have capacity for, ones who place integrity front and center in all that they do. Because there are plenty of people that, like to what I'm going to speak to, there are plenty of people who don't do all of that and yet seem to have all of the confidence in the world. And, good for them, that's cool. But they're not seated in the same types of ethics or spiritual values that I am and that my students are, that I'm calling you into. And so they kind of get to ride a wave that isn't in consideration to a lot of things. So that's a whole different type of people, which we know, right? And sometimes we look at them, we're like, damn, like, how are you doing that with so much confidence? Like, where did you get to do that? Like, and it's great because you get to as well, but you get to from a place of integrity and truthful embodiment and a deep sense of ease and clarity and knowing from your heart. So I just wanted to preface that I am speaking to people that really honor showing up truthfully in their own bodies, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And in that piece about taking that integrity seriously, it's really going to invite you into trust. And this is a big part of what I'm going to be speaking about. So let's get into it. We've spoken about the implications of moving through self-doubt, the fact that it's so real, that it's a lived experience for all of us, regardless of what level we're working at. We're showing up for people, we're showing up for our collective. So never feel like you're alone in that. First of all, you're not alone in that at all. It's a very shared and real experience. So a big piece about self-doubt and imposter syndrome is your intrinsic belief system, right? Your intrinsic belief system about whether you are actually worthy of what it is you desire, what it is you have been called here to do, what it is you are here to serve. We have grown up with so much fear, so much restriction in our breath, in our muscles, in our mind, in our imagination, that when we come to this point where we start to be bold and courageous about showing up for others in a really purposeful way, whether it's helping heal others, whether it's like mentoring others, guiding others, serving others, creating experiences for others that are therapeutic, that are life-changing, the question arises, wait, who am I? Like, who am I to do this? Can I do this? Are Are people going to judge me if I do this? If I put this thing out, if I let people know about what I'm offering, if I'm telling people about my services and my gifts, are people going to judge me? Or, like, all those questions, because deep down, you don't actually fully believe that it's already yours. It's already for you. And because you don't believe that, you are entering into actions, entering into choices, entering into environments, entering into relationships, entering into friendships that actually perpetuate that belief. So then your circumstances, there's a gap. You're feeling uneasiness. There's toxicity. You're lacking consistency. You're not actually following through with the protocols you believe in. And so now your circumstances are reflecting this big gap between what you claim to be, what you want to be, and what you're actually doing. So there's two levels to that. So then it becomes real, and you look at your life and you're like, oh my God, I wanted to be so consistent with my eating. I wanted to be so consistent with that pranayama practice. I wanted to be so consistent with, like, why isn't it happening? I'm consistent for a couple of weeks and then I just fall off and it's like so bad. And then you cycle into that spiral, into that doom of like, I guess it's not for me. Like, who am I to be doing this work? And it's like real, you know, if you're in that place of constant tension and inconsistency and uneasiness in your own body and your own minds, then of course you're not going to feel fully in integrity when you're guiding other people. That's real. That's understandable. But we need to work on these multiple levels then. Hello. We need to work on these multiple levels then, which is one, the deeper energetics, the deeper belief, the deeper sense of worthiness, but two, actually create consistency in your actions, in your choices, because those actions and those choices are also going to help you cleanse yourself of the limiting beliefs. So it's a beautiful cycle. One is required for the other. Both are affecting each other. It's very hard, okay, because I know a lot of mentors, a lot of life coaches, they only work on the piece with regards to your belief systems and those deeper limiting beliefs. But you're so in the habit already, and you don't even have the awareness of what types of foods or choices or practices or lifestyles actually suit you, that those things keep happening, making it very hard physically, energetically, like literally on a health wise, for you to actually be present to that subconscious reprogramming that you're going through. Is this all landing? Like, do I have you up until now? Is this all very clear? I just want to make sure I'm not going too fast and I'm not losing you all. Just let me know if at some point I'm going too fast. You just tell me, slow down there, Niv. So these are the two pieces, right? One is the deeper belief, and one is the actual choices. Both come down to, for me, embodiments. The ideal is when we are so situated in our practices of care, in our practices of regulation, in our practices of nourishment, we're just so seated there that it is I did a tiny fast. Okay, thanks, Lacey. I'm going to share this. I'm gonna make sure that it's uploaded so you can rewatch it as well. Yeah, because maybe some of you are trying to take notes as well. The vision is that you are so seated in your practices of care, in your practices of nourishment, in your practices of love and expansiveness, that it just is you. And you're never in doubt about you. You're not in doubt about like that you as like what's your name, who you are as an identity. So when you're showing up with certain tools, when you're showing up with certain guidance, when you're showing up with certain coaching, you're showing up as you. You're showing up in your truth. That's it. That's the medicine. That's what's needed, because you are so embodied in the vision, not in perfection, because we're not asking people to be perfect. We're not guiding people into perfection. We're not trying to therapize people into perfection. I'm saying in alignment, in ease, in consistently returning, in allowing for certain practices to just be a natural extension of you, so that your mind is clear, that your body is grounded, you are feeling healthful, and from that place there's absolutely no doubt that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing in full integrity. So embodiment requires, of course, it requires consistency, which is something a lot of us struggle with. It requires a deeper sense of what we believe we're worthy of. And what we believe we're worthy of gets to build and grow the more that we cultivate our self-trust. And we cultivate our self-trust through actually being consistent. So again, they're all tied to one another. But just to kind of bring it back, in terms of moving through self-doubt, in terms of really feeling the confidence, the integrity, the authority to show up as a powerful coach, healer, therapist, guide, there's no way around embodiment of what you truly value and of the vision that you are aspiring for your students and your clients to step into. You need to have walked the path. You need to be walking the path. And when you do, and it's just a part of you, there's no doubt. There's no doubt about it, because it just is you. You've gone from theoretically knowing, you've gone from, experiencing it's outside of you and experiencing it in bursts, to now it becoming you. And every level of your coaching career, every level of your work, you're going to be invited in stepping into more expansive, more truthful, more consistent, more gentle, more easeful, more loving, more healthful versions of you. And so every single level is going to require that renewed intentionality with consistency, with whatever it is that level is calling of you, as well as that renewed sense of, I'm worthy of this too. I get to desire this too. This life is for me too. That embodiment piece is very difficult to do alone. Okay, so all of you that are trying to just plunge through it and do it on your own and be that person on your own and in isolation, I'm self-sufficient, independent, hardworking, I got this shit vibe, is beautiful. It's a brilliant attitude to have. But I invite you into allowing yourself to receive the actual mentorship, support, and guidance to move you into that embodiment. This is powerful. This is powerful. This is powerful because you're also saying, I'm worthy of that level of support. I'm worthy of that level of someone seeing me and holding me and rooting for me and guiding me and allowing myself to receive that. This is an exceptionally important piece to embodiment, because a part of embodying your own truth and your own vision is allowing yourself to receive it. And a lot of us here, we do not allow ourselves to receive fully because we're so in our masculine, we're so in our doing, we're so in our action, we're so in our independence, we're so in our self-sufficiency. And I'll tell you from my own lived experience, like, this was something that I really had to untangle myself from. I was blocking so much from my life by telling myself that I had to do it on my own, that no one was, that, you know, no one could help me, or because I had signed up for programs and I've been studying all my life. I've done really high level programs in different institutions, etc. But actually signing up, actually investing in a coach, in a mentor, that was really in my back pocket, holding me accountable to that future version of me, standing for me, rooting for me. The first time I did that, just in making that investment, I stepped into an embodiment of myself that was like, it was like timelines. It was like timelines ahead. And it took my Ayurvedic practice and my yogic practice and all of these beautiful knowings that I have, it took them into a whole other level of how I let them really soak into my being and let them become me. And so I want you to know that this is now how I hope to show up for you, because I see that that was the missing piece. That was the missing piece this whole time. And it's just unimaginably, like it's what's the word? It's non-negotiable. It's not an option. It's not an option now to stepping into that version of you, next version, moving through the self-doubt. Oh, I'm so glad. Luala, is that your name? Is that how we say it? It's a beautiful name. So that's, yeah, to come back to what I was saying. This is my devotion to you as you desire to step into the next level of your guidance and your coaching and your leadership and your service here, and you want to do it with integrity, and you want to do it using and being present to these incredible ancient modalities like Ayurveda, like yoga, which cover all of you: nutritional, energetic, emotional, mental, financial, spiritual. Like, this is the mind-blowing truth of these modalities that I work with. Pranayam, your vital life force, is that they're really opening up and cultivating and strengthening the fullness that is you, leaving no stone unturned. So if you're seeking to move through imposter syndrome and self-doubt, re-listen to everything that I just talked you through, because these are all incredibly important pieces, and including the piece that maybe you've come to the knowing that you do deserve this next level of you, that you are worthy of showing up for your clients and your students and your people in this way. You feel it viscerally in your body. You're like, this is for me. Why am I getting in my head? Why am I getting all trapped up? It's possible that there is, that's possible. It's 100% sure that there is a gap between your actual knowledge of how to really care for yourself, how to invite in foods and herbs and breathing practice that are truly suited to your unique blueprints, your unique energetics, and are going to support you into that next level. We aren't taught these things. We just look at wellness fads and we're like, oh, ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is you know, the thing. It's like, is that actually suited to you? Is that actually going to support your individual experience of relieving stress and sleeping better and feeling more clear in your mind? Because if not, you're still going to be stuck. You're just going to be doing and doing and doing and thinking, why aren't these things working? So there's a piece about, please invest in actually acquiring the right knowledge so that you can care for yourself for the rest of your life. Okay? For the rest of your life, regardless of what new thing comes up, new health challenge, new emotional challenge, new all of the challenges that are inevitable, a part of the seasons of life and aging. I want you to know exactly how to take care of yourself. So when that expression of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, unworthiness comes up because something has hit you, some new tension, some new stress, some new health issue, you can take a step back and say, wait, I get to actually drop into the tools and the practices that I know are best suited for this particular circumstance. So embodiment isn't about constantly giving your power away, right? Embodiment is about empowering yourself as well with the right tools, with the right knowledge, so that you can continue to trust yourself to take care of yourself and your people regardless of situation. Is this landing? Oh, I'm so glad. Dia. Wow, you guys, some of you have incredible names. And I don't know if these are like Instagram names or your real names. Let me do a little bit of waves. So I want to make sure that I went through everything that I wanted to go through with regards to moving through self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Yeah, exactly. The commitment, the devotion, the investment into embodiment through receiving personalized, tailor-made, loving guidance and mentorship, and then actually investing in and acquiring the right knowledge and the right tools to fill any gaps you experience when actually trying to take care of yourself. Will you save this life? Well, yeah, I will save this life. Yeah, I will save this life. Because I thought you said, will you save this life? And I was like, oh, that's a big ask. I will save this live. I will upload it so you can watch back, listen back to the whole thing. Yeah, and this is how I have moved through every point of self-doubt, and how my students have as well, because you know it's inevitable. Sometimes this question comes up, even is like, you know, specific to Ayurveda, which is like, oh, I'm not Indian, or I don't come from India. Like, can I really integrate these tools? And can I really integrate these tools into my coaching, into my therapy, into my guidance, into my practice? And there are two pieces that come through to me powerfully. The first is, are you actually living out these practices? Is it living and breathing in you? The answer is yes, because you've been working with me already for months, and I know that you have actually moved through this medicine now. You're actually doing the everyday actions and choices that reflect you are worthy of the most potent medicine system known to mankind. You're worthy of your own consistency. You're worthy of your own self-care. You're worthy of integration. You've actually done that, shown up with that. So now it's your truth. It's in your body. So of course, it doesn't matter. I'd much prefer that reality. If I think about a society, I much prefer that reality than the reality that we exist in, which is countless Indian doctors and practitioners who are not actually embodying and integrating Ayurveda. But they teach it, but they coach it, but they guide people through it. And to me, there's a piece of ethics and integrity that's missing, and there's a piece that energetically inevitably leads to the same loops of harm and sickness perpetuating individually and collectively. And I see that, right? I see that in person. I've experienced that. I've worked with these practitioners. So my intention is that wherever you are from, whatever your cultural background, whatever your experience is, that now in this moment, you are actually showing up with integrity, embodying these practices, and by embodying them, being like, this is me, this is an extension of me, of course, I get to guide people through it. And because it's not just about the modality, it's about all else that it opens up in you, your health, your clarity, your ease, your sense of knowing, your inner wisdom, all of that as well translates into what you're doing, into how you're showing up. And it's just the most powerful thing for you to move through self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Like, there's no more powerful way. The second piece is, I don't hear anyone asking that same question about yoga anymore. I don't hear anyone saying, "Oh, I'm so doubtful about teaching yoga, about practicing yoga because I'm not Indian." Why? You had to wait for the whole rest of the world to do the thing before you thought you were worthy of it? Be a pioneer. Be a leader. These are sister sciences. They evolved together. They go hand in hand. And also, by the way, you're limiting yourself a lot if you are only practicing yogasana and not actually getting into the deeper science of longevity and health and wellness and ethics, which Ayurveda really invites you into in a powerful way, at least in the way that I teach it. You're already a pioneer. You're already doing work. You're already envisioning a life that is so unique and so bold and so purposeful and so serviceful. You already know that about yourself. So keep expanding. Keep allowing yourself to expand in the modalities that you integrate, in the ways in which you invest in yourself, in the ways in which you allow yourself to be embodied and integrated in these practices. This is what I invite you into right now. Do we have any questions while I'm here? I hope that it seems like this was helpful for a lot of you. I hope that all landed just as you needed it to, because I know what it takes when you're showing up for other people and showing up in a way that's good, Mar. Yeah, showing up in a way that's like really radical, like really in support, really from that deep heart-centered place, wanting to facilitate their transformation, wanting to facilitate growth, and then feeling the inklings of like, just tightness, that maybe it's not for you, maybe you're not worthy of this, maybe you can't do it. Like, woof, it's tiring. So this is just a glimpse as well into the way in which I support you when you work intimately with me. And I think a few of you know, but I just want to make sure that those of you that watch this know it, in case you're seeking it, you're desiring it. But I am right now enrolling students to work very intimately with me healing through their own chronic issues. So you'll be healing through your own chronic mental, energetic, physical challenges. Like as I said, that's a part about embodiment. And you'll be actually learning the tools, ins and outs of Ayurveda, of yoga, of how to actually apply these tools in your own life for yourself, for your loved ones, but for your clients, your current clients, your potential clients, and really build a practice that is in integrity. Really build a life that is financially in alignment, is pleasurable, is healthful, and purposeful for you. So this is the Embodied Ayurveda Certification Program. This is the program that I'm currently enrolling my students in. It's 6 months long, and we work one-on-one. We work within a group setting. It's very intimate. You should watch my last 2 reels as well to just get an insight of like what you really receive within this container, because this is what I dreamt of. Like, this is what I wanted when I started to get into Ayurveda and started to envision myself as this woman that is deeply embodied in her practices and is feeling clear in her mind and is feeling peaceful and also showing up purposefully. And I was looking into Ayurvedic programs and certifications. I wanted to work intimately. I wanted to feel mentored. I wanted to feel held by a practitioner. I wanted direct transmissions. I wanted an intimate cohort. And I actually reached out to like a local Ayurvedic doctor here who has this gorgeous apothecary. And I met her and I was like, I'll do whatever you want me to. Like, I want to be your student. And she was just like, no, I don't do that. I asked my yoga teacher, like, I'll do whatever. I want to be your student. I want to be your, like, mentee. I want to receive the transmissions from you energetically, be trained in the technique that you are knowing to be authentic, and practice that. I don't want to get lost in a big school and an impersonalized certification. Even she said no. So many people said no. There were some teachers that gate kept the information. So I'm like, this is what was needed this whole time. An opportunity to embody, to move through those deeper sensations of doubt and confusion, and really step into that next level of your leadership, of your ability to coach and guide through something that's so high touch and personal, and then actually be trained technically, like to come out of it being like, oh my God, I know how to actually apply these tools. I can actually build a business out of this. I can actually start doing consultations. And if you're already a coach or already a therapist, I can start doing it with incredibly more extraordinary results and impact. And that of course affects your sensations of confidence. Of course, when you know the modality, that's this other piece that I wanted to speak to, but I didn't. When you know the modality that you're working with is just like timeless and is so comprehensive and is so multifaceted, this brings a whole level of trust and confidence that will take you through every single challenge in your life. No doubt. No doubt. And this is for you. So DM me if you have any questions at all. If you're interested in applying, you want to look into the details, you feel like this is for you, this is exactly what you need right now, then let me know. Let's start talking. Let's feel into if there's that heart resonance, if I really am the mentor for you, if I really am the teacher for you. And I think I'm going to close it at that. But I hope this live was super helpful. Ciao, ciao.